Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is a quick update video to show you all the new firmware updates for the Evo, the Evo Lite Plus, and the Nano Plus. That's all I have. So I have all three of those drones in here. You see I have a huge case with controllers and drones. So I'm going to tell you what the new firmware updates are, and then I'm going to show you them in action. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to put the announcements of the firmware up here just to tell you what they are, and I have them printed out on a sheet of paper. So this is the Evo Lite Plus. This is the one with the 6K camera. This drone from Autel is in competition with the DJI Air 2S, except it's newer technology, and I find personally that the camera on this is probably about 50 times better than the DJI Air 2S, especially in low light, just general photography and videography. So let me tell you what they changed on here according to the sheet. They said they made a shoot mode now, so they took the photo mode, the video mode, and the pro mode, and they squished it all together in the shoot mode. I should also let you know that Autel did send me a beta version of that software long ago, and I've tried it out and I've played with it for weeks, months on end, and yeah, it works perfectly fine, but I'll show it to you here. Is there anything else? Oh, they also added some image stabilization. So images looked, in my opinion, really good before, but they look even better now. And they've also added image stabilization to Hyperlapse, which is pretty cool, because if the drone is sitting in the air and you just leave it there and you let the ground, people on the ground move around, and you do the Hyperlapse, it has an image stabilization that causes it to look really good actually. So yeah, I'll show you that here really quick. Next one I have, this is the Evo Lite. So this is the drone that's not a 6K camera, it's a 4K camera on the front, and this has some pretty cool features. It has all the features of the 6K version, except it can't shoot in 6K, and it can't take photos as good as the 6K version because the sensor's not as big. However, it does have a night mode on here, so it can take video and photos in low light really well, and it also has something really cool. So they came out with this really neat concept a long time ago, I don't know, last year, and everybody's been waiting for it. It's for shooting vertically. I think they're the only company that does it where you can shoot vertically for TikTok and Snapchat in a way that no other company does. Like DJI has added to the DJI Mini 3 Pro, they've added the fact that the camera turns sideways to let you shoot vertically. This is just a big sensor inside. It's a big sensor with a shape in it that it can shoot vertically and horizontally, and because of that they can do some pretty nifty things in all photo modes, and your app can also go vertically and horizontally in all the modes as well. It's pretty nifty. I'll show you that. Is there anything else they did? They said they added the stability to hyperlapse, blah blah blah. Same thing as the last one, and yeah, they just made it smoother, the portrait rotation, because I can rotate the image in portrait mode to go from horizontal to vertical, and you can see it in real time, and they've smoothed it out. So I'll show you that coming up. Now a lot of you are probably wondering, hey, how do you have an Evo Lite? I can't even buy one. I don't know. They sent me this a long time ago so I could test it out, and I've been testing it out, so it must be coming close to being launched. Next one is the Evo Nano Plus, this one here, which I really like. This is my favorite little mini camera because, in my opinion, it has the best camera on it that I've ever seen. I have not tested out the DJI Mini 3 Pro camera, but I will test it out to see if it's just as good as this or better. We'll see what happens when I do my test. But for now, this thing here, from a photographer's point of view, because that's what I am, background, videography, photography, this is really good. They did a few fixes on it, so they put that shoot mode like on the other ones, so everything is all stuck into shoot mode. They did a bunch of bug fixes. They fixed hyperlapse, and they said they optimize wind resistance, performance, and flight control. I've never had a problem flying this in the wind, and if you watch my motorcycle video that I did recently, oh my god, that was so windy that day, over water, everything, and I flew this with no issues. However, I do agree, if you are a newbie or you're not a very good drone pilot, you might have issues because you might not realize that when it's really windy and you want the drone to come back against the wind, you kind of got to put it in sport mode. On here they call it ludicrous mode. Okay, I think that's it, so let's go try them out. Okay, first up is the Evo Lite Plus. Okay, one thing I want to show you really quick is the shooting modes. There is a 60 FPS, I think that was there before, but I'll just show you. So if I go into 4K, I can go up to 60 FPS. That's on both drones now. Other items like the HDR and log are still there. So if you take a look at my screen, notice I have portrait and then I have shoot mode. So in shoot, everything is there all together. So I can go from video to photo. I'm going to switch it to photo mode right there. and back to video mode, and I have all the settings for both. Also, this is what's new on my screen. I have so much traffic going by here, hopefully you can still hear me. Also on my screen, what's new is if you look along the bottom, everything you need as a photographer is right there. So say I'm shooting out here, it says right now your ISO is 100, and I don't know, say it was nighttime, I wanted to crank up the ISO, I just touch the ISO, see on the side, and I can switch to anything I want. I can move it, and of course my image will get really bad because it will get overexposed, and I can put it back down to 100 and click on the auto. You can do that for all the settings along the bottom. So right now the aperture is wide open if I wanted to change that. Let me see, I'm on f2.8. So a lot of drones, they like to film at about about f8. So there we go. You would never do f8 at night, but on a sunny day, f8 is good. It gives you a better image overall. But I'll put it back on auto and I'll let it decide what it wants to do. Now, sorry about that. All that beeping you heard is because I have my phone audio turned on, so the beeping sound comes through, and that is your obstacle avoidance. Of course, I've got them all set because I have trees all around me, so when it's hovering, I don't want it flying into anything. So here we go. I'm going to bring the camera up and just look at a road. Let's see. Let's pick the road in front of my house. So this one here, and I'll bring the camera down. There we go. And I'm going to shoot it so it looks way up the road. There we go, like that. All right, there we go. It's not a lot of traffic today in my neighborhood, but here we go, there's a school bus. And now I'm going to go into hyperlapse mode. Let me just check my settings to make sure it's going to turn it into a video. So let's go down here to hyperlapse, video only. There we go, put it on that. There we go. So in other words, I wanted to make a video. I don't want to do the hyperlapse later. I want it to make the video. So I've got it in a hyperlapse video only, close that. And now let's go back to manual and go to my settings. And go to, we'll take a picture every 2 seconds. How long do we want your video to be? I'm gonna make it, let's go over here. It's gonna be a 4-second video, and it tells me it's going to take a little bit of time. That's good, that's what I want. And then I just hit go. And now any cars going by will end up in this hyperlapse. So it's gonna look like lots of cars going by because it's just gonna sit up there for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Oh, let me just mention as the hyperlapse is going, it is pretty windy out here. Trees are moving, things are getting blown around, so it's sitting up above the trees and it's bouncing around in the wind, so we'll see how smooth that hyperlapse is because they do have stability on it. Okay, we're almost done. It says I'm at 96 photos out of 100, and then it's going to squish the video all together. Well, they're going to squish all the photos together to make a video, and then I'll be able to show it to you now. All right, I've got the camera on because I want to show you something else I forgot to show you before that's really good on this drone. It's on this drone and the Evo Lite. So that's the Lite Plus, and it's on the Lite. And that is portrait mode. If I take a shot in portrait mode, it's going to blur out the background slightly, and it's going to look awesome. I love the portrait mode on here, so let me show it to you. All right, so look at my phone screen. I've picked portrait mode, and then I picked me. So I put a little plus on me. There we go. It knows it's me. And I want to take a shot close. So let me just hold this up and show you. So I'm going to hit close. Now see everything behind me? That should become a little bit blurry when I take the picture. So it's got me, and notice the exposure. I'm in the shade, and out there it's bright. It should fix everything. So watch this. I got to take a shot. And that should have worked. And just to double check, I'm going to click on the shot and look at it. And I want to go to SD card. Yes. And there I am. Just going to click on me. I don't know. Hopefully it worked. So next up is the Evo Lite, and if I show you the difference in camera, that's a camera on an Evo Lite right there. Oops, can I point it forward? There we go. And there's the camera on the Evo Lite Plus, which is a larger sensor on it. One thing to show you with the controller of the Evo Lite, it's identical to the Evo Plus. However, man, that wind is just blowing stuff. However, you notice on top here, I have this unit. So I got that from Autel. I don't know if Autel includes it with the Evo Lite, but it's different because watch, see my phone? It's designed that you can spin your phone like this. There's a reason for that, because you can actually fly in vertical mode and the app goes vertical, and you can fly in horizontal mode and the app goes horizontal. So I'm going to try it in this video. So I'm gonna look at this camera. This camera is filming me over on the Evo Lite. All the settings and features are almost identical to the Evo Lite Plus. So if you watch my previous reviews on the Evo Lite Plus, they're almost all the same. What is different is this here drone has the ability to go vertical. Vertical images. They call it a 4-axis gimbal stabilization type system. Let me show you. Okay, when you look at my phone at the top left, you can see that there's an icon of phones. One is straight up and down, that's vertical, and one is horizontal. So when I tap on that, my phone screen should change from horizontal to vertical, which it has. This is what I want to show you. Look on the right-hand side. Everything on the app is designed now for vertical shooting, and the video will record in vertical. So if I hit record right now, I've hit record, so now it's actually filming me in vertical mode. It can do everything that you can do in horizontal mode in vertical mode. It's gonna get better. Hang on a sec, so let me just stop that. Now over on the right hand side, look it, I've got portrait mode. I can do that in vertical. I've got quick shots. I can do that in vertical. I could do tracking in vertical. And let's go up. What else could I do? Could I do hyperlapse in vertical? I could do hyperlapse in vertical. I can't do a pano shot. Oh, no, I can't do a pano shot in vertical. No, that would make sense. But I could do night mode in vertical. So pretty much everything except for pano seems to be in vertical, that you can do your normal stuff, but just do it all in vertical so that when the image saves, it's in vertical and you can put it on social media sites like Snapchat, TikTok, or whatever. Hey, now it gets even better than that. So I have to show you here. So you see my phone? Okay, watch this. There's my phone. So there's the image. Because the reason I'm showing it this way, it may not show up when I record on here. It's recording right now. So I'm gonna get my fingers out of the way. Now watch what happens if I do this. I'm gonna spin it like that. There we go. Now the entire app is in vertical mode. So everything is vertical. So everything you do now is, it's going to show you on your phone exactly the image you're going to receive. So if you have a big tablet, it looks pretty cool. It's really, really good that they allow this. And if you go back, automatically it will switch itself back. Pretty cool, eh? Okay, now you're not convinced that's cool. Let me show you another neat thing that they added. Now my screen is kind of compressed because I'm in photo mode. So let me go into video mode. There we go. It's going to take up the whole screen. There we go. And now let's go to settings in the top right up here. And if you look down, I've got the normal stuff. I could shoot in video frame rate. I could shoot in 4K at 30, all the way up to 60 if I want. Up here, go all the way up to 60, but I'm not. I'm going to leave it at 30. But here's the cool thing that's new. Look at camera rotation. I can do a 360 camera swirl, or I could do it twice, 720. So you're probably wondering, what the heck is he talking about? Let me show you. Next, I go down. You can take photos, HDR, log, normal stuff. So let me go here, and I'm going to go, I want 360. And it says, how long do you want to do that swirl for? Do you want it to go for 2 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds? So I'm going to say, let's make a, I don't know, let's make a 15-second one. This is something I would do for TikTok or Snapchat. So anyways, hop out of that. I'm going to put record on, so you're actually going to see the result. So record's on. And now on my screen, I have a little button that I touch, which shows my camera, and it shows the swirl, and it's to the top right. Watch what happens. So I picked 15 seconds, didn't I? Here we go, 15 seconds of swirling. There we go. And it's all smooth and it's stabilized. The internal sensor stays as it stays, as far as I could tell, but it's so large that it can handle the image spinning smoothly like that. So you can lengthen that to 60 seconds if you like. And if I tap it again, it's gonna unwind, so it's gonna go the other direction. There we go. It's like, oh, I got unwind. You wound me up, so I got unwind. And it goes back the other way. Now, I've got it going slow. And just imagine if I'm flying forward and I do that. You're going to think you're in some sort of Hollywood movie. Like, there's some out there that do this. So the Autel EVO Lite is identical to the Lite Plus, but the differences are the camera. You know, the Lite Plus has the 6K camera, so a bigger sensor. This one here has the 4K camera, but this one could do the little swirly things and the vertical stuff, so it's more for social media and stuff like that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the drone track me, dynamic track, as I walk around here in vertical mode, just in case I wanted to throw the video up on Snapchat or, I don't know, something in vertical mode. So now I've got an audience over here, all these kids coming home from school, but I'm gonna spin this really quick and it should go into vertical mode automatically. There we are, we're in vertical mode on, you probably can't see it too much. And then I just have to pick on the screen here, tracking. So I got quick shots, track, so there's tracking. So now it wants to track me. I'm gonna turn the drone so it sees me. There we are. And I'm gonna walk this way a bit. All right, so I put a little, hit the plus, and now I just have to hit follow, and it should start following me as I move. It's gonna get closer a little bit. I gotta wait for these cars to go by. Like I said, it's end of day, everybody's coming home, but here we go. I'm gonna follow this pickup truck, walk in here. So the dynamic track will just track me in vertical mode, and the video that you're watching should be in vertical. And I'm gonna come around. You can see my neighbors all looking at me saying, what is this guy doing? And we're coming back. All right. Let's come back to this camera over here. All right. And of course with dynamic track you have obstacle avoidance active as well. So it goes around everything. If I came up to an obstacle, it goes around it. But since everybody's coming home, I don't know, they're wondering, what is that neighbor of mine doing? All right, so let me stop that. All right, so that was the Evo Lite, and I do not know when this is going to be released, but I don't think it's going to be too long because to me it works perfect. So let's go on to the Nano Plus. The Nano Plus has tracking, dynamic track, but it's not released yet, but I'm going to show it to you right now. All right, next let me show you the Nano. They've fixed some bug fixes. They've enhanced the ability to fly in the wind. I've had a beta version on here of the dynamic track, and it does work, but they're still working on it. Until they get it 100% perfect, they're not going to release it, but I could show it to you right now really quick. Now, because I only have the beta version of the dynamic track and there's not a full release yet, I have it running on my Android Triple Tech tablet, which is extremely bright for outdoor flying in Android. So I'm going to try to record the screen in Android and show you it working. There we go. I just want to show you how bright this is outside. You can see that's the video feed from the Nano on the ground. It's not bad. It's pretty bright. Going on up. And the same thing as before, I'm going to have it track me. So once again, this software that I'm about to show you is not available for the public as of this date. I'll put the date it is today right here, but it is coming as soon as they make it perfect. So once again, you hear the beeps. That's the beeps from the obstacle avoidance. I'm just going to turn that down. Where's my volume here? There we go. I'll turn it right off. We don't need that. And I'll bring the camera down, find me. Okay, if this is recording on the side, I have a spot to select track. So I'm going to stop the video recording right now. And on the side, I'll pick track. There it is right there, tracking mode. I pick me, there's a plus sign on me, and I click on record, start that, and then I click on follow, and now it will follow. So it sees me, and it's in the wind, it's bouncing around, and the image should look pretty stable, and then I turn around. So it's got to follow the back of my body. So here, let me go through the shadows, and out this way. Once again, to my neighbors over there who can't notice me as much because the Nano's pretty quiet. But anyways, let's go this way, come around the side. Hey Nano, I'll look up at it. There it is right there. Coming around. It doesn't do like the Lite Plus and the Lite drone. Those ones there, the gimbal actually turns when it's following you. And then the drone turns to follow you afterwards. But this one here just tracks you normally, just like any other drone on the market. There we go, going through the shadows. And it does track you with obstacle avoidance. So if it sees objects around me like the Jeep, you see how everything's just behind me is just a big black. It thinks that's a wall. Watch this, if I walk towards it, it's going to think we're going into a wall here. So it's going to follow me, but at some point it's going to say there's too many objects. See this tree? It might come around and say something's wrong with the tree. So let's go this way. It's still got me. It's doing well actually. So I'm walking up around the tree. It should go around the tree. There's a branch. Is it going to hit it? Yeah, it did pretty well. And there we are. It's going to make its way over that branch. It's up there. It's trying to get over. Look at that. It just cruised through. And now I think it saw its reflection. Whoa! It almost hit the wall. All right. So it knows there's my house wall behind it. It's like, well, yikes. It's pretty good. It works, but they're still tweaking it. That had me a little bit nervous there. All right, so let's go. I can't go this way. There's trees stuck everywhere. All right, so I'm gonna go back and stand over here by this camera, and that thing there will just have to land itself. So I'm gonna hit the stop recording. So the little Nano here is pretty cool. It's pretty good for going around my neighborhood because not everybody notices it because it's not super loud. It's probably loud right now. It's right beside a microphone. But here, I'll take it over and land it. All right, so those were all the features on the Nano, mostly just tweaks and everything else. And like I say, the dynamic track is coming, but it won't be available for everybody as a firmware update until they have it perfect. All right, so ends this video. If you have any questions, just post them below and I'll get back to you. I'll bring the Autel EVO and the Nano out some other time and fly it around and do some other cool stuff. I'm waiting for the DJI Mini 3 Pro, and when I get that, I will put it up against this just for the camera, because that's why you buy a drone. You buy it for the camera. So I want to see how good the cameras are between the two. And you'll see that on this channel. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video. Catch you in the next one. Bye.